Alright, hello and welcome to the video. This video is how to lucid dream. So quickly, for any of you that don't know what a lucid dream is, basically it's when you're dreaming and you become aware that you're dreaming while you're in the lucid dream, and it leads to a bunch of cool stuff like you being able to control yourself and sometimes even control the world around you. So I want to bring up some of the techniques and kind of my ideas about them and how important they are, if they worked for me or not, and just some stuff like that. So first, I need to talk about dream recall. So the most important thing for you to have a lucid dream is to be able to remember your dreams in the first place. Because a lot of times, you're probably having lucid dreams, but it doesn't matter because you forget them right away. And if you forget your dreams right away, it's like defeats the whole point. And the best way to increase your dream recall and to remember your dreams even after you wake up and time has passed a little bit is to keep a dream journal. And basically all a dream journal is you keep a journal or your tablet like I do next to your bed, and when you wake up, whether it's in the middle of the night or whether it's in the morning, you write down everything you can remember in as much detail for as much time as you have, obviously, of the dreams that you've had. And over time you strengthen your brain's ability to recall your dreams. And trust me, this makes a huge difference. Like, you go from waking up and forgetting it right away to being able to remember 2 to 3 hours long dreams just after a few weeks. So that is a 10 out of 10. It's a necessity. You're not gonna be able to remember your dreams, much less control them or have lucid ones, if you're not keeping a dream journal, at least most nights. And another great thing about a dream journal is that you understand what dreams look like. And the more dreams that you write down and remember and can understand what they look like, the better you're gonna get at recognizing what's a dream and what's reality. And I'll talk about that later in dream signs, but now I wanna talk about dream checks. Dream checks is basically the idea that you do something that in real life you can do, but it'll be different in a dream. And if you do that, the idea is that if you do it enough in your daily life, that you'll do it in a dream. And I have not had success for this. What I tried was covering my nose like this and trying to breathe in. So obviously I can't breathe in during the day, but if I was in a dream and I tried that, I would inhale, and obviously my arms wouldn't be covering my nose in real life, so I'd still be able to breathe. I like the idea behind it, and I'm sure it's gonna work for other people, but I personally have not had success in this. So I don't recommend this one, but what I do recommend is dream signs, which basically you're recognizing what commonly occurs in your dreams. So basically the idea is that by writing down your dreams, you look at what commonly occurs, and then when these things happen, you will realize in your head, oh, I'm dreaming. So I absolutely, this one's important. I don't think it's anything you need to do separately from dream journaling, but just by keeping a dream journal, you're gonna start understanding what dreams look like more, and you're gonna be able to recognize them easier. And then next, I have setting intentions. So this one I had ranked a little bit higher, and it's basically when you're going to sleep, and what you do is you tell yourself, I'm going to lucid dream tonight. If I wake up and I'm not in this room, it means I'm dreaming. And you just tell yourself things like, I will become aware in my dream. And if something happens, it's kind of like you're telling these things and you want them to go into your subconscious so that when you're sleeping, they pop back up and you realize, oh, I woke up and I'm not in my bed, I must be dreaming. So things like that. This has worked pretty well for me. Usually when I set my intentions, I have more recognizable dreams and I'm more likely to have a lucid one. So I recommend this as well. But then this one, I ranked a 9 out of 10. It's called Wake Back to Bed. And the reason this one's so powerful is because when you wake up in the middle of the night and you stay up for like 10, 15 minutes, it doesn't really matter, you're more conscious. And then when you fall back asleep, your brain kind of stays more conscious throughout the rest of the sleep you have, and you're more likely to remember your dreams. And what the sleep scientists have seen is that you only dream in this little area right here, so in this range, which they call REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement. And they call it REM sleep because our eyes kind of dart around in our sleep, and it shows that the body and the brain in the sleep, it's like more connected during that. So if your dream is like that, you're like completely up, and then you start going down, and you have a super quick, so if this is time right here, you have a super quick like dream. But then as time goes on, you're gonna kind of stay down here and then you're gonna loop up and then you partly wake during the night, but usually we don't remember these because it just happens and you forget. But then what happens is this slope sort of becomes looser and looser so that these periods of your dream, so let's say this one we were in for like 30 minutes, and then this one it's a lot longer. So the period of your night that you're spending dreaming is increasing the longer and longer it is since you've gone to sleep. So what this waking up does is, let's say right here you're dreaming, and if you wake up right here and you go back to bed, you're going to be more conscious during that time that you're dreaming. So this one has worked really well for me. I don't usually set an alarm or anything. I'll just end up having to wake up to go to the bathroom in the night anyway, but it works out well for me. But one important part about this is you need to get enough sleep, because if you're getting longer and longer dream cycles each time that the longer you've been in sleep, if you get more sleep and you sleep longer, that's why if you, for example, sleep in on a weekend, you're more likely to remember your dreams. I don't know, you've probably noticed this in the dreams that you do recall. But by sleeping more, I mean, it makes sense. Sleep more, you dream more. But it really does connect, and it's exponential in the way that, like, all the dreams I remember are in, like, the last 2 quadrants. So I remember usually the one right before I wake up is the dream I remember. But then oftentimes if I wake up in the middle of the night, I remember this one as well. But these ones, like, at the very start of the night, I rarely ever remember. And unless you wake yourself up during that, you're likely to not remember it. Okay, what else do I have here? Oh yeah, so some tips for when you're lucid dreaming. Unfortunately, the first few times that you lucid dream, once you recognize that you're dreaming, you're gonna get so excited that you're gonna wake up right away. And it's really frustrating because I know you're gonna be trying for like a week writing your dream journal, and you're finally gonna get one, and then you're gonna get so excited that you just wake up right away. And it's really it crushes you a little bit when that happens, but you just have to really focus on calming down. And there's been some techniques, like you're supposed to try to spin or something, things like that. But it's frustrating, it's gonna happen, but just know that after you do it 1 or 2 times and you realize you're gonna be able to kind of fight through that and you're not gonna wake up. So that is one thing to look out for, and just know that that exists. And another tip I have is that oftentimes you have to come up with creative ways to make things happen in your dreams. For example, when I want something, like for example, let's say I want to fly. I can't just fly. Well, sometimes I can, but one really way that's worked well for me is by doing a snap. By doing that snap, it kind of gives my brain a signal like now. Or what I do is I'll close my eyes and I'll be like, when I open my eyes, I'm gonna be in the air. And then I open my eyes and look down and I'll be off the ground. So giving that close and then that start again kind of gives your brain a way to like, it's like, oh, it's hard for me to transition from you not flying to you flying. But then if you're already in the air, obviously you're gonna be flying. So things like that. There's obviously a lot of creative ways. Like sometimes, I want a plane. You can't just make a plane appear, but you can ask someone like, hey, do you have a plane? And then one time I was like, hey, do you have a plane? They were like, oh yeah, it's in my backyard. And then they had a massive plane in their backyard that I flew around. So you have to find fun and creative ways to ask for things sometimes, but sometimes you can't just make things happen. But yeah, that's another thing to look out for. I could make a whole nother video about random tips and trips once you're in a dream, but for now, I think for sure, as long as you keep a dream journal, you're gonna get there. And that's the #1 thing to take away from this. I hope you enjoyed. It's a little bit different from the other videos, but let me know what you guys think. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.